Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
I knew when I was addicted. When my medications were running out early, I was trying to go back to the doctor, trying to say I lost my medication, trying to get them refilled early. I was asking friends and others, hey, if you give me some, I will return the favor when I get my medication filled. I was trying anything I could to get more of my medication. Are you or someone you know struggling with an addiction and really trying to get your life together? Are you at that moment in your life that you are finally realizing things need to get better? And are you feeling hopeless? Well, the Ask the Messengers TV show is here to let you know that recovery is possible. And all you have to do is stop what you're doing right now and repeat these words. Enough is enough. I'm done. One thing that has helped others in recovery is hearing other people's stories. So today on the Ask the Messengers TV show, we invite you to take a listen, and we hope you will be inspired by a few real people sharing their real stories about addiction, recovery, and hope for another.
I'm an alcoholic and heroin addict. I identify myself as an alcoholic out of respect for the fellowship where I found my recovery. I'm here today to tell you my story. My sobriety date is April 20th of 2012. Like I said, I am a heroin addict. That was my drug of choice, and I used that drug for over 11 years.
When I was using opiates, I was open to sharing. You know what I mean? You want to come by, you want to kick me a couple bucks, here's some pills, let's do pills together, no problem. Once I started doing heroin, there was none of that. That was gone. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to share. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll never forget it. That's for sure. I'll never ever forget it. And it's probably best that I don't forget it.
My mom told me that, like at family get-togethers, as young as 3, I would grab people's drinks and take off running with alcoholic drinks, taking my uncle's cigars, and I mean, my parents were partiers, and so I can fully understand how they could say it's genetic. The disease of addiction.
Hey, Mike. Can you tell me, Mike, what's your drug of choice?
Opiates, pills, Percocets.
Okay, and how long have you been using?
Since about 2 years ago.
Shortly after graduation, I started drinking and smoking pot and taking pills on a daily basis. By August of that year, I had been arrested for the first time on 4 felonies and 4 misdemeanor charges. And actually the day I got out of jail was the first day that I ever used heroin. I specifically remember that day. I was hanging out with some guys I knew since I was a little kid, and they were using heroin and shooting it up in the bathroom. And I went in and they shot me up.
Can you tell me a little bit of how your drug addiction and or alcohol affected your life and your family?
Absolutely, it caused me to lose my family, actually. I got a divorce. I'm in court now battling while fighting for rights to see my daughter, who is my life. And that's the reason why I'm here. And one of the reasons that I'm here also is I have a lot of family support. I wasn't raised in a broken up home, so I don't have that excuse. I just didn't know where to go, how to do it. I'm Muslim, so I grew up in a Muslim household, very strict mother and father, but they gave us everything we ever needed. I had everything I ever wanted. I just resorted to it. No one put a gun to my head, but I was around the wrong people. And I just did it. I liked it too much, and I got addicted.
Okay, and what was it that finally made you want to stop?
I went back to God and realized that my life was nothing without him, and I guess you could say that I found the light again and realized that I was worth more and deserved more.
My using took me to depths that I thought that I would never go. You know, I stole from my family things that could never be replaced. I remember specifically stealing my mom's wedding ring and taking it to the pawn shop, and then helping her look for it for the next 3 days. And on the third day, I was dope sick again, so I told her where her ring was so that she could go get it. And she went and got it out of the pawn shop and brought it back to the house. And within an hour, I had it back at the pawn shop so that I could go get high. Stolen priceless heirlooms from my grandfather, my dad, my brothers and my sisters, my grandma. You know, I was homeless in countless succession times. Sleeping behind Kroger's was perfectly acceptable to me. The only thing that I cared about was getting high. At one point in time, I had a $1,200 to a $1,500 a day heroin habit. I've sold cars, I've stolen from stores, I've done unspeakable things to obtain my drugs. A normal day for me was getting up and robbing someone, getting shot at, waiting in my car for hours on end for my drug dealer to show up. My sole focus was on me and what I wanted was to get high.
The most important thing to know about heroin is, number one, it knows no boundaries. Heroin could care less what the color of your skin is, how much money you make, where you live, what religion you believe in. Heroin has really impacted every aspect of society. And I think that's one of the things that makes this drug so different, is that it doesn't matter if you're lower, middle class, or upper class. It has impacted everyone. And the other thing with it is how extremely addictive it is. And I don't think a lot of people understand how the body changes and how the brain changes and how the chemicals in the body and the brain change when they're on an opiate or heroin.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed of. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, or for more information about prevention, treatment, and recovery services, or how to properly dispose of medication, contact the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
The world is opening up, and when it opens, you want to be ready. Concerts, clubs, weddings, dinner with friends, or just hanging out. Soon, Detroit will be back, and you know how we do it. For 3 decades, Fashion International has been here when you needed to look your best, and that time is coming again. Check us out now. We have the latest styles to have you ready for the new normal. Fashion International, 10 Mile and Greenfield.
God's World, a Detroit institution at West 7 Mile and Schaefer, says get them while they last. The Old Bombers 2017 commemorative. Operational needs.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at textinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
It started off with marijuana. Then I went to alcohol, then to pills, and then it just went out of control once I met Vicodin. It becomes more important than getting food in the morning. Getting your fix becomes more important than feeding your body, and it's disgusting, to say the least.
I got burned up real bad playing with gas. Could never keep a job. Was partying too much, and it started really affecting my diabetes and my health. It was 2011. I ended up overdosing on heroin a few times, and I caught a couple felonies, and that woke me up, and rather than go to prison, I got into treatment.
I have been in recovery for 4.5 years now. Eventually, I was at a party and I was heavily intoxicated, and I got offered a line. Everybody else was doing it. The guy I was dating at the time, he was doing it. My best friends were doing it, and I kind of felt like the outcast by that point. And I'm like, well, okay, well, what is it? Okay, it's OxyContin. So I did it. First time I'd ever did a pill. I was drunk anyways. And I remember I got so sick. I was puking. I had the sweats. I mean, it was just a terrible, terrible situation. And my probation officer calls me. By this time, it's 14 days after the first time I'd been arrested, being on probation. And he's talking to me, and he's like, look, you're going to die if you don't get in here. You know, you need help. You're a drug addict. We can take care of this, but you got to come up here. And by this time, he'd already talked to my mom. Him and my mom were on good terms. So I called my mom. I talked to my mom, and they talked me into going back home. My mom's like, you know, we got to get through this. We'll get through this. You know, we're not going to turn our back on you. We're there for you. I'm like, all right. So they take me up to the probation department on March 19th, 2014. And I turn myself in. I sit in my probation officer's office, and I look him dead in the eye, and I tell him that if he does not get me into treatment and get me away from this environment, that I'm going to die. That my parents are going to have to bury me. It was a surreal situation. Like, that is exactly what was going to happen.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. All I did was dance. I was being scouted for a scholarship.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it.
Is there any medicine that I can have right now? I'm cold sweating really bad.
I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days.
We'll be right back with more of Ask the Messengers.
Hi, my name is Artesia Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Neuro Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
Hi, my name is Brenda Owens. I work at Greenfield Hair Collections, and I love doing hair. I've been doing it for almost 30 years now, actually. And I do a little bit of everything. This style right here is pin curl. This is my weekly client, Lenise, short and sassy. She just got a fresh haircut last week. The name of the salon is Greenfield Hair Collections. We're located on Greenfield between Outer Drive and Curtis. I'm on the second level. My name is Brenda. My phone number is 313-729-8194. Give me a call. I love what I do.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
If you are out there struggling on drugs, the best thing to do is to go to treatment today. Listen to what they have to say because it does work. I am feeling much better today about who I am and where I want to go.
Ended up losing my mother to cancer, and I was in jail and I missed her funeral, and ended up having to go to some mental wards around the county and state, and then I got an awakening, and I got back into treatment. This was March 27th of 19, and I was just trusting the process is what we do around here, and sometimes it may seem like it takes too long, but it works out in the end.
When my life kind of started to burn down, I looked up and I asked God, I said, just help me to stop using. I just felt like the chains start to break. You know, I can't describe it other than to say I felt this burden, I felt this weight come off of my shoulders. And it helped me to stand up on my own 2 feet, to know that something, somewhere, some God had my back.
Can you look into the camera and give a hope shout to those that might be struggling with the same issues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of us go through things. It's just a matter of knowing that you're worth more, that you deserve more, and everyone needs a higher power in order to get through it, because no one can do it alone. I thought I could do it alone, and I failed every time. As soon as I turned to God, I feel like now it's not super easy, but it's a whole lot easier, and I'm more determined than ever.
I remember your birthday. I made you a birthday dinner. You text me. That was another red flag, that you didn't want to speak on the phone. And you said, I'm just not feeling well. I can't make it.
It was a common theme. Yeah. I wasn't feeling well.
Right. Suddenly you're sick.
Suddenly I'm sick, 4 times a month.
And you worked right around the, 2 blocks away, and I wasn't seeing you at all.
Right. Yeah, which is another odd thing.
Yes.
Working 2 blocks away from the house you grew up in.
You add all those things up, and it seems crystal clear. But when you love somebody, yeah, I'm okay.
When I graduated drug court on October 1st of this past year, I remember standing in front of that, and the judge asked me how long I had been in the program, and I had told him 4 years. And he said to me, that's as long as a college education. People that have known you your entire life, and who you were and who you are today, tell you who you are today. That letter that my mom wrote me, I'd like to read. And it says, My dearest John, as I begin to write this letter today, memories come rushing back of the days and years gone by that I wrote to you, but from a totally different place in our lives. I was writing to you in rehab after rehab, jail cell after jail cell, and in hopeless and desperation, for a life I only prayed you would someday have. Finally, after 14 years, we are there. I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of the man you are today. You are the strongest man I know. I have witnessed the pitiful, sad, skinny, and helpless person you were when you were using. And I have also witnessed the struggle and strength and faith of a man fighting his way to sobriety. And we watched it over and over and over again for all of your adult life. You have taught me more about life through your suffering in times of pure desperation than I learned any other way. You were my inspiration many, many days, and today is one of those days. The journey I have taken with you has brought a lot of tears and gut-wrenching sadness and emptiness, but it has also brought a lot of joy, understanding, and knowledge that it has helped us grow to be the people we are today. It sounds odd, I know, but I am a better person because of your addiction and recovery. And for that, I will always be grateful for you. Going to classes before visitation every Sunday at Drogi House has taught me acceptance and understanding of addiction, while visits in jail taught me humility. Grateful Life Center taught me gratitude for another chance for you to get clean. But drug court was the best teacher of all for me. It taught me that discipline and obedience and rules and regulations and no more excuses was the way to go with you if I ever wanted to see you live through this. And Judge Bartlett and Adam will always have my undying respect and gratitude for giving you back to me, better than you were before it all began. I never gave up on you, John. I always knew deep down that you could succeed in recovery and that your life would be a gift to many who suffer like you did. You have a kind heart and a compassion like no other for people who need hope and help. But most of all, faith. Yours has made me even stronger, and again I thank you. You have so many people who love you and respect you for all you have been through and all you have accomplished, and you have learned all of it the hard way. But your family, your sisters, your brother, your grandma, and most of all me, love you more than you will ever know. You have been special to me since you were before you were ever born, and you will always be my baby. And one of my greatest blessings, I am so proud that you are my son. I love you, Mom. To go from where I was to this letter right here is proof that recovery from this disease is possible. And when I sit and think about the times that I felt that everybody had given up on me, that I had given up on me, that God had given up on me, and that this was the life that I was going to live, to knowing that through all of it, every person that I thought had gave up on me was still there, and had loved me just as much then as they do today. But they had to do what they had to do, which was let me travel my own path and love me from a distance, whether it was pressing charges on me from stealing from them, whether it was driving me to jail, or taking me to another treatment center, or letting me back in their home so that I could rob them just one more time. To know that they wouldn't trade any of that to have who I am today is just amazing.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Ask the Messengers TV show. We hope something you heard today helped you in some way to understand addiction and to give anyone struggling the desire to surrender and seek help. If you or someone you know is experiencing anything that seems to be too hard to handle, please know there is a way out, and don't hesitate or be afraid to seek help. Until next time, may you seek a power greater than yourself so that you too can turn your mess into a message that will help save lives. Continue to stay safe, and most importantly, be kind and love one another.
Won't you help us to do exactly what our motto is, and that is to help save lives? Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives. You may not be able to go out in the street, you may not be able to come here to the show, but you can send your donation that helps us save lives.